Hello, this is David Waumsley here with a third Beaver Builder website, Stripdown, still in the same t-shirt with the same backdrop because yeah, I'm recording a few of these together. This time I'm talking to Yael from pixelhappy.co. That's the name of her web design company based in Israel, but she has international clients. I really enjoyed this very much, and here we are looking at a site that she created called energyhealinginstitute.org if you want to check that out while you're looking at this. And finally, I think both the audio and the visuals worked on this, so hopefully it's a good omen for the future. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye. Yael, hello. How are you today?
Hi there. Doing well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really quite excited about this. You're the third person to come on to this Beaver Builder website breakdown, and you're very brave. I don't know if I'd do this myself.
Oh, really? I think it's such a fantastic idea.
Oh, great. Oh, it's really kind of you to do this. Anyway, shall we just talk a little bit about you for the people who don't know you? I know you from the Beaver Builder Facebook group because you're there all the time. So maybe you'd tell us a little bit about your business and what you do. Yeah,
sure. So I started building websites in 2004. Well, let me rephrase that. I started learning with some books about how to build websites in about 2003, 2004. Had no idea what I was doing in the beginning, but I had folks who needed a website, and so I just started learning and building. Obviously, there wasn't as many, we didn't have online resources then, so you used books. So anyway, that was a long time ago, and I had no idea how to run a business. My background was in nonprofit, and really I kind of burned out and almost quit about 6 years ago because I just had no idea how to manage projects, and I was too nice, and I gave everything away. And anyway, I discovered things online that helped me learn how to manage a business, and decided to stick with it, which I'm really happy I did, because then Beaver Builder came along.
How long is Pixel Happy as your brand name? How long has that been?
Actually, that's been 2014. My original business was an Israeli business, and it was a different name. Now, even though I'm in Israel, my business is registered in America, so I had a brand change about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. And is that generally, are your customers generally international?
Yes, they are. I rarely have Israeli clients. I mean, I have a few, but I have clients in America, Australia, Europe, Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Well, shall we move on to the site that we're stripping down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you've got it on the tab there, Energy Healing Institute.
Right.
Yeah.
Move that there. Yeah, so yeah, that's a lot of my clients are, not all of them, but I would say 90% are in some type of alternative modality. So this is a site for Jill, and she's been teaching 20-something years. Very grounded, very, why do I say this? Sometimes when you go into the alternative world, yes. Not everyone is, there's a lot of fluff. Yeah. There's a lot of fluff, and most of my clients are generally like very solid, very grounded, very educated, and Jill is definitely fits that profile.
Yes. Is that because I read on an interview that you did for Beaver Builder add-ons blog, you also do yoga, don't you, yourself? So is that why you attract a certain type of client?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm yoga teacher and practitioner, and also I've studied a lot of different modalities for healing. So that's probably that's the common thread.
Yeah.
I understand what these people are doing in general.
Okay.
So we share the same values, I guess.
And how did Jill come to you?
That's interesting. She has two other people, a copywriter and a digital, I don't really know what she has 2 other women that work with her. And I think it was her copywriter that found me, but I've never really known how she found me. In fact, that's something I'd like to circle back on to find out. I don't really know. But it was her copywriter who found me and recommended me, but I'm not sure how she found me. There's one website that's for it's called, his name is Paul Zelzer, but it's for he uses a phrase, wisdompreneurs, and he has a huge community, like 20,000 in Facebook, and it's a huge community. And I've known him for many years when I was training to become an EFT practitioner. And so he has me on his list of recommended designers. So a lot of people find me through that page.
Yes.
But I'm really not sure how Jill's copywriter found me.
Yeah. Do you want to take a quick scroll down on this page just so folks can see they'll get to see who Jill is, I think, on the page here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And is this then a redesign that you're doing? Was she? It's a lot of bloggings going on this site, isn't there?
Yeah, she's a great writer. She's a wonderful. Yeah, she's very educated, very articulate. But she had a website that was quite old, and really, even she said it was when she had it put up, it was just temporary, but it lasted for many, many years. It was using the old Canvas theme from Woo. I don't even know if that's still around anymore. It was like 10 years. It was old, very old. So it's a redesign, and also she has a lot of courses, and for some reason, even though her courses are hosted externally through an app called Ruzuku, she was using, whoever had set this site up, they set her courses up as WooCommerce products, even though she wasn't processing any payments on the website.
Right.
So, she said, it's amazing that this website has actually monetized anything for me. She understood that it was, it was,
So the courses are still external. Did you have to do anything with that?
So what we did was we removed WooCommerce, and I created a custom post type for courses. And so let me just open one.
Yeah.
So when you register for them, it takes you to Ruzuku, right? So.
Yes. Do you think, is it a possibility for her to use a WordPress course system at all, or was that not discussed?
Yeah, she didn't want to do that. And actually, I've noticed, I'm working on a site right now for someone else, and they prefer to keep that separate, like on a different environment. Yeah. I mean, I did talk with her about that, and she was like, no, this is, she pays for this. I'm not sure how much it is, but it does everything she needs, and so she prefers just to, do that.
Okay. Oh, great. Well, let me just talk about the branding and stuff like that. I'm fascinated by how you work with a client, because how much branding came beforehand, and how much did you have to create for this?
Yeah, I wish I had a screenshot of the previous website, because there was nothing there to take.
Right.
Really, there was nothing. It was like, imagine a 10-year-old website with bright green colors using the Canvas theme. It was there was just nothing to take from that. So so we started with exploring colors, and she picked a certain palette that we modified a little bit. I think it was too muted in the beginning, and we wanted it brighter. And so we started with that, and then we worked on content blocks for the homepage. Like, I wanted to know what was the most important thing and what she wanted to highlight. If you, the reason the practitioner program is it's her big event. I mean, she has other courses, but this is a big part of her business model, and it monetizes very well. So she wanted that, front and center on the website. So we worked with colors and the type of content that she wanted highlighted on the homepage. And yeah, so we went, she did not have a logo. And it was interesting because we were just working with just a text logo. Mm-hmm. And I was looking through her media library one day and I saw, it wasn't this color, but I saw this icon in it was a vertical and it had her name. And I was like, well, what is this? And she was like, well, I forgot about that. I had someone do this logo for me about a year ago when I was thinking about rebranding. She talked with the two women that she works with, and they was like, yeah, let's go with that. So cool. That's how the logo came about.
And what about how much content did you get before you had to start designing this? Did you have everything you needed up front? Or
I did not. And I have to tell you, I know many people, and it's, content before coding. I like the approach. It hardly ever happens with me.
Or anyone.
Yeah, well, I know some people say no, but so what I understand the business. I understand the goals. I understand what's important. And I usually start with content blocks.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll have a little bit, like she did have some from the existing website. I did have some copy there, but a lot of it changed. I mean, I actually cloned the site. So it was a redesign, but some of the pages stayed intact. We just, updated them. So I had content, but basically what happened, it was pretty amazing. So when we finalized the homepage structure, I'll show you quickly the document that I got. I loved this. It was pretty amazing. If I can find it quickly, let's see. Where is she? Oh shoot, I don't see her. Okay, I might not be able to find. Anyway, it was the document that's really, oh, there it is right there. The document that I'm not going to be able to find. Oh, maybe this is it. It was amazing. If this is it, this was great. This is what her copywriter sent me. Look at this. It was amazing, no?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I understand the content before coding and designing, but this also worked because look at how I received the copy once the structure of the homepage was defined.
Yes.
That's pretty sweet.
Yes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Well, what about how did you go through the process of agreeing the homepage design? Was it something you did in Photoshop or whatever tool you use? Or
no, I didn't do that. We talked about the type of content she wanted on the homepage. We did just a general wireframe. Very, very general. I mean, just literally just content blocks.
Yes.
I could show you that if I went into Trello, but so that's all. Content, the type of content, what was important, what needed to be highlighted on the homepage, and then just a basic wireframe. And then I started working with, in the browser.
Yeah, that sounds great. And you use Trello, do you? Is that your means of sort of project managing?
It is, yeah.
Interesting. Great. Hey, can we take a bit of a look at the functionality of the site? Can we move to what everybody gets fascinated by, and that's the plugins that get used on the site?
Sure. So, you want me to just go to plugins?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, David, we were talking about this a little bit, before we actually started the call, and this site is actually using Genesis, which I may not be using in the future, because Genesis is amazing, but it also requires a number of Genesis plugins. So,
Yeah, I see Dam Buster there to make everything full width. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I know that very well because I started Beaver Builder with Genesis as well, so I know what you need to add. So Yeah, you were talking to me earlier about the fact that you might be, I think you're working on something at the moment using the ocean theme. Is that correct?
I'm a
Not.
project that I'm working on now. I'm actually using it's called Astra.
Oh, sorry, the wrong one. Yes, Astra.
Yeah.
There's a few now. The new page builder
Yeah,
themes. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure. We're in the very early phases, and with Beaver Themer now, it would be pretty easy to change the theme.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure I'm going with that, but right now I'm really liking it. It's optimized for Builder and for Beaver Themer. So it's a free theme, and they're going to be releasing a premium add-on, in the future. But I'm quite happy with it. So we'll see. It looks like I'm moving away from Genesis. So this probably is my last Genesis site.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm just looking at the bottom there, maybe just to cover a few of the basics there. I see that you've got plugins that many of us use. You've got Yoast, is it? SEO? That you use for that. Was that something that you had to do a lot of work on this site, the SEO side of things, or was there somebody that she took advice from?
No, I generally don't provide that. And so she, basic configuration, but she had someone else work with her on that and come in and, optimize the pages with Yoast.
Fantastic. And you use WP Rocket, which I'm, a big fan of as well.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Doesn't it just make things quick so
It
easily?
does. Especially when you're on shared hosting, it makes the site, it works.
Do you mind if I ask about hosting for this site?
Sure.
Yeah.
This is on SiteGround, which is, for shared hosting, it's pretty much the only host I recommend. Well, that's not true. I mean, InMotion, but it's my preferred. I manage probably 20 sites on SiteGround. It's still shared hosting, but, as far as shared hosting, I think it's one of the best.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, I had it for a couple of years. I've moved things to my own VPS and put everything on that now. But, for shared hosting, it's always what I recommend as well.
So who are you using for VPS?
I'm using DigitalOcean, so everything's going on to Droplets on DigitalOcean. Yeah.
Because I'm definitely considering doing that myself, so.
Yeah, it's a little bit more work. You've got something more to manage. And I was a little bit nervous of using it because I'm not somebody who likes to use command line, and a lot of it's over my head. But it's been fine. A couple of years now, I've been running it with no problems. Yeah, really cost effective. And
so you're hosting your client sites?
Yes, so putting them on different droplets, so you can get a 1 gigabyte RAM droplet, and you can, it depends, but you can probably easily get 10 sites on that if they're not too high traffic. Yeah, so it's very economical. Anyway, and I noticed here as well, you see, it fascinates me, video user manuals as well. So that's the Troy Dean package, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Actually, I discovered he's actually one of the reasons probably why I didn't quit completely like 5 or 6 years ago. Because I found he has a much more advanced program now. He had a smaller version then. It was like, I don't know, $59 or something. It wasn't much. And I started with that. And yeah,
So that's something that your clients get. They get those manuals.
The video.
Yeah.
They're right up here.
Same
yeah.
With me. Okay.
And you can actually add, you can add your own videos as well. So if there's something very specific about the website and I do a custom screencast, it will show up under videos as well.
Right. And you do that?
Occasionally. Actually, now that I think about it, I used to. But my process has changed, I would say, in the last year, where I have regular Skype meetings with my clients. And so as we're building the site, I will show them how to do things via Skype. So now that I think about it, I realize, no, I don't do that anymore because, by the time their site launches with our regular Skype calls, if there's any specific functionality on the website that they need to learn how to do that video user manuals wouldn't teach them, they know that via our Skype sessions. So.
Right, I get you. Now, I'm looking here at toolset types and views here. So can you show me how they're being used on this site?
Yeah, so that is for the custom post type for her courses.
Sure.
And again, this was before Beaver Themer, or I would have used that. And then, Toolset integrates with Beaver Builder. So I was able to create the, I was able to create the course layout via Beaver Builder.
Yes. So you were using that connection. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I never did a site using that, but I played around with it a lot. And then, of course, in the nick of time for me when I needed it, the Beaver Thema came out,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And also, I guess a lot of people might be interested in how you've used the third-party plugins. I noticed you had the ultimate add-ons for Beaver Builder in there.
Yeah, do I? Yes, I do. And Power Pack. Yeah, I don't really remember which one I used for which part of the layout.
Yes.
Because I use both of them.
Yes.
I mean, the content grid from Power Pack I use that all the time. It's so powerful. But yeah, I can't really remember what is Power Pack and what is the ultimate add-on.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think under blog there, I think you're using, and also courses, I think, is that the Power Pack grid module? Is it called grid module?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
This is the grid module, yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic, yeah.
And the blog, I think, is probably using the... Oh, yeah, it is, because it's the same
yes.
design, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was only looking at it a few minutes before we got on the call. You did it some time back, so I'm catching you out a bit with it.
Right.
Sorry, let's just take another look at the plugins if you don't mind. I just wonder what that's... Okay, so simple social icons you use there for, I guess that's for the blog post,
Actually,
is it?
I am not using that, I don't. Look, this site launched in March, so I probably need to deactivate that. I think I'm using something else. Yeah, I am. I'm not using that. I'm using scriptless social sharing, so I'm going to go ahead and actually, you know what? That's in the sidebar. I am using that. Let me look here. It is for... this plugin
yes
is for the sidebar.
And I think it's on the homepage as well, isn't it?
Yes. This is for sharing, and this is just linking to her social media accounts.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, the scriptless one I think is really fabulous, just to keep things light.
It is. It's so light. I love it. Yeah.
Fantastic. And I noticed you also use, I don't even know how you say this actually, is it Imagify or Imagify?
I have, I don't know. Yeah, Imagify. Imagify,
that sounds better.
Tomato, I don't know.
How do you find that? So for people who don't know what that is, that kind of reduces the size of your images automatically for you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And when you first install it, it'll do a bulk optimization, so you can do it really quickly. The plugin is free.
Yeah.
But oftentimes when you have an existing site with a lot of images, you'll need to buy like a one-time $5.99, because the free version only gives you a certain amount of optimizations. So most of my clients need to buy the $5.99, and then you can optimize all of their existing images. And then from that moment forward, when you add a new image, it's automatically optimized.
Yes. It sounds like it's great for clients. I tried it once, and foolishly, I tried it on something which I'd already optimized so much, and then I decided to be really bold and use their highest, whatever it is, ultra setting. It got really. I had to revert everything back because it became.
What happened? What did it?
Yeah, it became really pixelated. My images, because it was just over the top. But I realized how powerful it was, and I thought, I need to think about this for clients, because they don't have to now think with that one what they're uploading. I believe anyway. Is that your experience? Did you swap from another one to this?
I was using another one before this, but it was on older sites. So in other words, like these sites only used this plugin.
Yes.
Like the new sites that I'm building now, or redesigns, like Jill, she didn't have any kind of image optimization plugin.
Yes. And yeah, I'm just seeing, because it looks like you're really up to date with all the kind of new plugins that are here, because I see you're using Formidable as well for your forms.
I've been using that so long. I was grandfathered into the I have a lifetime license.
Yeah. Did you swap from say Gravity Forms or another?
No, I didn't. I discovered Formidable. It was so many years ago, and I don't even 7, 8. I don't even know how many years ago.
Yeah, right at the beginning.
So yeah, I used Gravity Forms on one website years ago, and I mean they're great, but like I said, I have a grandfather license with Formidable, and it does everything that Gravity Forms does. So
you also use Thrive Leads, I think. Is that being? There are some pop-ups on this site. Is that what's fueling those?
It is. It's so with Thrive Leads, it's a very powerful plugin. You can have just static sign-up forms like this one. And there's one at the bottom on the pages, I believe.
Yeah, there's one that rolls in as you scroll down.
Yeah, this one. Right, and then with Thrive Leads, what's really nice is, have you ever used it?
No, well, I tested it. Somebody else let me have a copy of theirs. I don't have a license for it, so I tried it out. But actually, to be honest, it was a little bit over my head.
Yeah, it is. It is like there are so many options. It is a little bit of there's a learning curve, but yes. I like it because first of all, I'm not a big fan of exit intent opt-in forms, and if I go to a website and I close that opt-in form and I come back to it the next day, I don't want to see the opt-in form.
Yes.
Right, and so with Thrive Leads, the light box, there's a light box that shows on the home page, and there's one that slides up at the bottom. We're actually doing an A/B test and on those two, and Thrive Leads will determine the winner and just eliminate the other one. So at one point, there will either be a light box or the one that slides from the bottom right. But what you can do is, if someone turns off this light box, it's not going to show again for that user, that IP address, for however many days you set. I think this one we set for 10 days.
Well, I must admit, I mean, I saw when I went in, I never got the sense, and I do very quickly, that I was being pestered with pop-ups, but there was just enough there to encourage me to sign up. So you've obviously got it right. But is that something that you just bring to a project, or is it something that the client kind of is aware of in the beginning? Did Jill know about what's available there in terms of pop-ups? So
actually, that was actually how would I call it, an add-on to the project essentials that she could have chosen or not. And she did choose it because, obviously you can just set some basic static, sign-up forms, but it does take some thought to set up Thrive Leads. Like you said, it's quite complex. So that was an additional component of the project that she did decide to go with. So she did know about that before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what strikes me is that you've got, the ability to A/B test. You need to continue talking to the client. So it is an add-on, isn't it? It's not something you could just throw in there and not budget for, because it does take up some time, doesn't it, to change? Yeah. What do you have? Oh, that's really fascinating, because I haven't used this stuff. I know I should. But I haven't. Okay, we've been on for quite some time. I don't know if there's anything you want to particularly show me. I've got a few questions that I'd move on to next, really, which is, what do you think you got from this project? What was the difficult spots, and what were the things that you learned from this project, if anything? Yeah,
so I can tell you I did. I had a big learning experience. Thank goodness, we're always learning. But if you notice that Formidable has an option to collect Stripe payments using their forms, and so when Jill explained that she wasn't using WooCommerce for anything, they were just displaying her courses, but they weren't processing any money. So we were well into the project, 20-30% into the project, and all of a sudden she was like, "Oh, I remember, I do have one product," and and I was like, "Oh, well, what is it?" And she said, "Well, it's it's this, she calls it Chakra Sanities. It's down here, right here. And she says, I do have one product. And I said, well, what is it? And she said, well, it's an MP3 and a PDF, right? So I was like, oh, that's no big deal. I can just do a payment form, a form. And then once they've completed the payment, they'll receive an email with the downloads, right? And this turned out to be a huge, complicated mess. Not complicated mess, but actually it was not just one product.
Yes.
It was actually 5 products. So it was a little more, my oversight was not exploring that more and realizing that it was actually something that was outside the scope.
Yes. How did you deal with that? I've had that problem before. Really, on the week of the launch, somebody's revealed that there was a part of their site I never even knew about, a hidden part which needed to be recreated, and it was sleepless nights for me for about a week because I didn't know how to do it. So, how do you deal with something turning up that was unexpected?
Well, like I said, with this one, my mistake was rather than just saying no big deal, I'll just do this without. In other words, I didn't add anything to the project. I didn't add any cost. I didn't charge her extra for this because I thought it was just, a 15-minute form. It was a big project. And so if I had actually done some discovery here, I would have said, okay, well, that's actually 5 products. Then, that's outside the scope. And, it's going to be an additional cost.
Yes.
But I didn't do that, so it's okay. She was really easy to work with, a great client. So basically, I just included this as part of the original project.
Yeah.
Even though it came up later.
Yeah. So that actually you answered both questions really. What was the difficult part, and also what you learned in one example. Is there anything else that you took away from this project? Something new from it?
Yeah, that was the big learning pain point, so to speak. And then it was actually my first time working with a copywriter.
Yes.
Which I really, really enjoyed. And we're hoping, I'm going to refer her. We've kind of developed a relationship now because I'm going to refer her to clients who need that. And she's going to refer, web projects to me. So I really liked that a lot.
I think you've just done a good sales job for her. If you want to give me the link to where people can find her, because just showing us that document earlier about.
I know that she does not have a website.
Wow.
I looked for her and I was only able to find her on LinkedIn. Her name is Victoria Moorhead, I believe.
Yes, I think it was shown on a document actually on the top there. Yeah.
You want to see it again?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I know a load of people who want copywriters, so yeah.
Text. Homepage. So yeah, Victoria Moorhead. But, you'll have to contact her through LinkedIn.
Yes. Carrier pigeon or smoke signals.
Yeah. But I just loved getting copy like this. It was awesome. I mean, oftentimes some of my clients are very, they're energy healers, not this one, but some of them are not a skilled communicator via the written word. That's a nice way to say that. So, sometimes I get messy copy,
Yes, of course. Hey, one other question that I'll just throw in before we sign off. The handing over to the client. I know you manage the site, so I guess you maybe give some training as you go on. But, was there any difficulties with that? Did they change any of the stuff that's with Beaver Builder themselves?
No, I actually hide all of that. So if you open Page Builder, you will. They can edit the existing content.
Yes.
They could add well, this is all that they are going to see.
Okay. Sure.
That's it.
So you use that sort of default setting where they can't change the style, it's just the content they can change. Is that correct?
Yeah, I hit a lot of the options via CS with CSS.
Oh, right. Yes. Cool. Oh, I think I
Yeah.
saw you talking about that actually in the Beaver Builder Facebook group, I believe, or maybe not.
But no, one of my initial clients a couple of years ago when I first started using Beaver Builder, she destroyed her website.
Yeah.
I mean, she thought Troy Dean, the video user manual, they have also Beaver Builder videos.
Yes.
And I made a big mistake of activating those on her site. She started watching them and decided that she was a designer. She literally, I mean, like really, it was terrible. And that's Beaver Builder does not make someone a designer.
Yes.
And this was like, so now I hide as much as I can.
That's interesting.
But I told Jill I was going to do that. I don't, she knows we're using Beaver Builder, but I said, look, she knew that I was going to hide everything so that she couldn't mess anything up.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the deal you have. You see, in a way, I do the complete or trialing the complete opposite, where we really hand it all over to a client with training. So it's mainly we're not building sites, we're training them to build their own. So it's a completely opposite approach to that. But if I was in your shoes, I think I'd be exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the problems that letting people loose causes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think, unless I've missed anything crucial out, we're at the end.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been brilliant. I love this. Thank you so much for sharing this.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And it's lovely to talk to you. So I always have a difficulty getting out of this. So I guess I'm just going to say I'm David Waumsley. I'm saying goodbye. And you are?
I am Yael with Pixel Happy Studio.
Yes. Let's say bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.